3 loss, which will be the same as Blossom, which will, tie up Supernova and Blossom at the bottom 2 for the mid-tier teams. But let's get into the map picks here.
That is true. We are coming into Dragonshire, our third and potentially final battleground here for our first series of the day. Ballistix up 2-0, and honestly, going to Dragonshire as their pick makes a whole lot of sense. It's been one of, if not their best battleground, and I just can't wait to see them play on it. It's very large, lots of macro opportunities. It just screams, if you were the better team, you should be able to play to an advantage because of that. And hey, there's a Tracer ban, Supernova. They're going really reactionary. That Grell ban last time, and now it's Tracer.
All right, they're just going, and I can understand Supernova taking away Phoenix once again, but like I said, I want to continue Supernova. They are reacting to what Ballistix is doing, and they're also considering the map that they're on, but Supernova having that Phoenix away once again completes their composition. Let's see if this time around in Dragonshire they can make something work out. But like I said before, in the first 2 games, you saw the rotations of Ballistix compared to Supernova. And you mentioned that this macro map, this big map where macro is very important, rotations and the shot calls of whether to support a lane or rotate towards to give that support or to defend is a very important shot call that needs to be made on either side, and Ballistix have been doing a fantastic job with that.
That's true. I mean, if that's the one thing you're good at, that's probably the best thing to be good at is where do you put your heroes and when. It's all about the rotations. Well, let's find out what our next picks will be for Ballistix. I guess we're doing our pick and ban rotations. No surprises. It's just, you just go straight down the top. You ban Genji, and then you pick Malfurion, Yrel, and I mean, they can't grab Phoenix, but realistically, it's Hanzo out there, and plenty more where that came from. And it's just going to be so weird to see 3 bans up there in the future. I don't know how that... Like, imagine being able to ban both Malfurion and Yrel. You just ban, like, straight off the top 6 for win rate, and then you have to find 6 more to pick from somewhere else. Well, I don't know what you would even do then. I don't know if that's gonna help top teams or bottom teams more.
It's definitely, I'm not sure about that. I don't want to make any comments about which how it's going to swing. However, having more bans is definitely going to make all of the pro teams practice more heroes. And bring up a lot of the tier 2 and 3 heroes up to tier 1, because all of that top tier heroes will definitely get banned.
So you are just going to have to find new solutions to old problems, and that makes things a whole lot more creative. We are going to see a Garrosh and the Dahaka pick this time for Supernova, so going to try on a little bit of Chonga's shoes for that game, and going to play the reverse, well, not quite the reverse matchup. He's going to have another opportunity to it, so it won't be Artanis. It's just going to be playing Dahaka into Yrel, which in general, I mean, it's okay. Like, you just do the Dahaka thing where maybe even if you have a bad matchup, you just kind of sustain through everything. You can clear the wave. It's not that big a problem. And eventually you're going to get, a grab that'll win you. Maybe.
And, we saw that happen for Ballistix in game 2,
That's true.
So
exactly.
We'll see if Supernova will be able to macro and micro around that area with Dahaka to make that happen. But now for Ballistix, we'll see what happens with their bans. And, Hanzo still being alive. We see a Karazin ban once again for Ballistix. They're definitely not giving Karazin to Supernova. Jaina ban comes out right afterwards. No time being wasted.
I guess that does make a little bit of sense on Dragonshire, but there's still just so much open. You mentioned Hanzo, right? We could still see maybe a Grey Mane resurgence, something that some of the top teams are starting to pick up. I guess we saw it once, not to a whole lot of effect, but what else could be coming out here? They still do need to grab a tank, so maybe Johanna way up there.
Well, we'll have to see what Ballistix go with, because their top 2 favorite picks are Tracer and Tastadar. Tracer is banned currently. Tastadar does a great job in Dragonshire to kind of annoy the opponent, and we'll see if Ballistix will want to pick that right away, maybe keep that away for themselves for the last pick. We'll see how that goes, because all the ban phases have been finished with. And Tassadar is still alive. I'm still curious. The Hanzo does come out.
Yeah, I was not curious about that. That was pretty guaranteed. Ballstead, though, okay.
Or to match up that Dehaka in the global.
So it is to go against the Dehaka, but that's what's kind of curious. You would almost always expect, you know, no Chad to just be a pretty good Ballstead, but unfortunately, it didn't look quite so good, especially against Tracer in that previous series. So now he has to play against the hero that he was very well known for, maybe looking for a little bit of revenge.
Get that Zero tool.
Yo, I was calling it earlier. My man, he's coming out. And while, maybe you might not be able to tell that Zeratul from the skin, it is certainly one of his best ones. And I'm excited to see Zeratul. Now, the question is, do you, like, I don't know if you can't really grab an Abathur there, which would be, I guess, an okay one. But the Decker coming out makes a little bit of sense.
All right, well, Diablo might come out for their 5th pick as well for Ballistix. We'll see if they want to go with the tanky tank or the annoying kind of style. We'll see with that. Usually they take their time.
Yeah, I think having a tank with good wave clear is pretty valuable. You can see that, I guess the Jaina ban is a little bit for that as well, but they do definitely need something that can stand up. Now, Wolf was talking about something very interesting that might happen later on, is that you can actually play your Rel as more of a full tank than kind of your standard kind of warrior, but I don't see too many people doing that. There's either like the Avenging Wrath build that I think most players go for, especially over in like EU, but you can go a little bit more supportive. You can also just go like straight up super ultra mega tank, and I don't see anybody doing that yet. So you could do that instead of grabbing a full tank, but it's the Muradin. I think, especially since it was banned in Game 1, a lot of teams do recognize Game Ballistix has got a pretty good one.
Yep, they do go with the Muradin. I was kind of thinking it could have been a Muradin or even a Diablo, like I said before, but unfortunately they're gonna go with that Muradin. And, you know, Ballistix and Supernova this time around, they both have a pretty standard composition on both sides. We'll see how this works out for either teams.
Yeah, it is still a little bit unique to see Zeratul out here. Not like the ultra craziest thing they could have done. Samurai was a little bit closer to that, but I mean, how is this going to work? Are they just going to stay a while and listen, and then just freeze everybody on top of that? I don't know if that is quite the combo they're looking for. It'll be interesting to see. Sick artwork, by the way, as always. Heroes fans pretty on top of that. We had a Honkono artwork with him in a Hawaiian shirt yesterday.
All right, well, we are into potentially the last game. This is game 3. Currently, Ballistix 2-0 against Supernova, as you see on top. We'll see how this game plays out. Supernova, they have to give it their best if they want to stay in this series for today. Let's see how this will work out for them.
I don't know too many teams that would like to stay in a series against Ballistix. In general, that proves to be pretty painful. Ballistix, of course, one of the best teams in the world. Even though they didn't have the greatest performance at MSB, they still are amazing, right? I mean, they got invited in the first place. So, rough performance, that definitely does not mean that you should ever count them out, especially here against Supernova.
Alright, we do have the 5-man at mid for Supernova. For a little while, they do get that lane push super quick and they rotate bottom, whereas Ballistix, they just send Urel to top from the get-go to soak up that experience, push that top lane. And Dehaka does go for that soak at top. Right, you know, now I just want to kind of focus on how Supernova rotates around, because we've seen and we know how Ballistix do, and they know how to rotate. They know when not waste their time rotating around if it's unnecessary. But Supernova has been doing some of those unnecessary rotations, losing experience and losing time on their side. This time around, they go for that early night camp here, whereas Ballistix, they're still focused on soaking up their experience and going for that giant here.
Yeah, so maybe a little bit of a difference as far as camps are concerned, but should be taken around relatively the same time. Slightly faster by Supernova, but they did give up a little bit of pressure in lane in order to do that. And we'll see how Shrine Control goes, because Kirisaku is once again going to have to face off there against Shonga. And does not appear as ready to do that as he did in game number 1.
Alright, it seems as if they're going to pressure top to make sure they keep that Shrine. And bottom, SCSC by himself took it with Maggie actually, supporting him, taking it away. They're definitely fighting it over it at mid as well, but they do have the Giants coming on either side, so we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, of course, very strong camp bottom, and that's going to make it difficult to hold on. It'll take 3 members to clear it off, but actually now momentarily, Supernova did have that shrink control. They won't for much longer, obviously, as Falstad is joining Jungha up there to help out. But it's cool to see Supernova kind of regain a little bit, a semblance of control.
Well, this is actually what happened in game 1, where they kind of pressured the lane, and we thought they were going to get that advantage and maybe even try to snowball it, but it ended up not being so in the end of the game. We'll see how this time around, if they're getting the shrine controls back and forth, they're trading, but Ballistix, I'm pretty sure they have something in their minds to kind of counter and come back for what Supernova is doing to them right now.
Well, and that's the thing about Ballistix, is as long as they don't like hemorrhage XP early by just getting picked off one after another, realistically, the longer the game goes, the more familiar they should be with the way that things ramp up. Honestly, Ballistix are a strong team at any level, but especially once you hit level 20, you know, it's just almost impossible to deal with them when they have all of those things at their disposal. So Jungha getting dragged into the turret, but of course SD is right behind him. That should still be a big advantage. Even more pressure put on Kirisaku up top, so he has really been kind of under Ballistix' thumb this entire time, specifically in the 1v1 against Jungha, and especially once SD joins.
Alright, we do see Zeratul kind of waiting it out to see if there's a chance, but he does have to run away here.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, this is the quick match Nova strat. Pick a hero that has permanent stealth, you walk around a lot, and you're like, do I go in now? But while you're thinking, you're not really doing anything. So a lot of times people say, well, I'm applying pressure. Well, this is actually not what No Chat is doing. He's dead.
He is dead, and he did leave a mark in this game by getting picked off here.
Oh, he definitely left a mark. It was like a skid mark on the ground. He, I'm glad they don't have like permanent bodies that last longer than when you respawn.
After you die?
Yeah, otherwise there would just be bodies everywhere.
No, here we go. SD trying to go for that Dragon Knight here.
Haven with the cancel, but at what cost, right? He's of course extremely tanky, and he's gonna be staying alive. Coming down, here's Kirisaku, SDE. Barely avoiding getting CC'd there. And a good job here by Supernova to deny a Dragon Knight, knowing that that would just kind of break this wide open.
Alright, they're kind of splitting it off to soak up the experience. You see Euro just going to top, giving away that team fight and not saying, you know, I'm not going to go for that team fight. We already have both of the shrines. You guys can do all you want at mid. I'm going to soak up and push that forward at top here. And No Chat sneaks to the bottom shrine, takes that away just to get that pressure off at mid. And that actually does successfully work for Supernova for the time being.
Taking a little bit of a breather, but only for a moment. ST or SC. SDE and SC being on the same team. Wow, that's really helping me out here. SC getting locked down is a little bit worried. Just stay alive. Being cyberly agile is a good talent to have. Kirisaku not willing to overcommit it to Jungha and SDEs, having to deal with them all game long.
Alright, we do see Euro going top. Jungha is going to take that shrine away. Definitely not afraid of the Haka 1v1. You know, like we mentioned multiple times, they know that nobody's going to contest Euro and win against them 1v1. So they do take that shrine away at top in 12 o'clock. But this is just going back and forth, and it's already been 6 minutes. You know, it's still pretty early on in the game, but as time goes on and this first Dragon Knight's not coming out after the 10 minutes, that, you know, 10-minute Dragon Knight is going a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, it's just crazy. Pick here on a Hooligan, gonna blow him up. It's a great way to start this fight off here for Supernova. I mean, they haven't traded anything just yet, and I mean, are we actually going to see a non-invisible No Chat? Like, there's two versions of being invisible, right? There's the one where you can't be seen, and there's the other version where you don't do anything, so your effect on the game is invisible. Which version of that will No Chat be this time around? early on, honestly, I guess it is kind of tough if you can't get any crazy picks with Zeratul. So he does have to legitimate making that pick in the draft.
Yeah, you know, Zeratul does have a couple of choices of heroes.
Okay, my man, that's one of those choices. To get in there and blow somebody up, I love it. Okay, it's working.
Yeah, you know, Zeratul could definitely go focus on Malfurion, Falstad, and Hanzo. The relatively squishy heroes on Ballistix side, but here we go. Phoenix going all at it against
SD. Wait,
oh!
SD, hello.
It's
Please respond. My keyboard, it wasn't working. I don't know, man. And look, top lane at VP traps 3.
All right, here we go. This is that sub team fight that we see after.
What is happening up here? Why are the ults being used this way? I don't understand why that's looking. Oh my god, sick Dragon Arrow, not so sick, stay a while and listen. Nobody wants to hear your stories, Deckard.
This is not looking good for either side. They are throwing away ults, and Supernova, if you saw that bottom fight with Phoenix against Falstad, Phoenix wasted salva. After he kills Falstad, he used his ult, so I was like, what's going on here?
No, man, this is, ooh, wow. I guess, you know, just like we get one C word per broadcast, we got to give these guys some slack. Every once in a while, you know, that's just the way. You hit the button, you meant to hit the D, you hit the R. Feels bad.
No, that's not supposed to happen. That's supposed to happen when we play.
Oh, that's right.
When regular or normal, non-pro players play, that happens, but it shouldn't happen for these guys.
So Jungha thinking about a Dragon Knight, no chat, gonna say no.
Yep.
Dragon Knight, and that's gonna stop him. Realistically for the rest of forever. And, maybe a pick here onto Haven. It would be very difficult, of course. Garrosh things. No chat, staying invisible. Will finally reveal himself here. That's actually the ult that Alex was looking for. But it doesn't actually last very long. He steps out of Haven. Not going to mean a whole lot.
Well, they did have Phoenix dead here, and Falstad does go for that top shrine once again. This will definitely give the Dragon Knight 2 Ballistix this time around. Actually, Haven does take that away. We'll see.
Oh,
they do take that.
Cancel.
No, they get that.
Isn't in time.
Oh, yes.
Nice save there. Anyway, first Dragon Knight goes to Ballistix. It is pre-10 minutes, so, you know, not incredibly crazy, but still is a very powerful way to break through that middle court.
All right, well, there we go with the Dragon Knight at mid. See if Supernova will soak this experience up and go defend mid quickly here. Haven trying his best here. This is not looking good for Supernova like we've seen in game 1 and 2. The slow snowball rolling down.
Hello?
Observers are great at catching these things.
Okay, this is the helpful observer, right? He's not helping us, but he's helping the player by avoiding whatever just transpired there. We had an instant replay. We could go back into that, but I think that maybe is best left unseen. The short story is that No Chat is not alive anymore. We're just going to leave it at that. And another fort going down here. A big, bad Dragon Knight for Ballistix.
Yeah, it was pre-10 minutes, but 9-minute Dragon Knight definitely going to do a lot of damage. And 2 forts are down for Supernova. You see the top fort have the slimmer stuff health there. You know, anytime Hero goes up there, he's going to get that fort
I basically counted that as being dead already. Yeah. Maybe I can also count like a keep or 2 as being dead already. I'm not going to make too many assumptions here.
We'll have to see how Supernova will come back from this. This game is not over yet, just the first. Oh, here we go.
I was waiting. No chat. He's trying to play a little game of chicken right there. It's like, you gonna blink? But no. I mean, he did have a couple of kind of cheeky pickoffs, right? This isn't another one-kill game for Supernova.
Oh, yeah.
I think maybe that was what the pick was designed for. It's like, all right, we can't have another one in that column. We gotta have some more contributions here. So not trying to get away. Does get locked out with the scroll and tanking it up. I mean, this is hashtag things Surreal does. Jungha surviving up in the top, or up in the front lines. Kurosako actually doing quite a good job using that passive to maximum effectiveness and allowing him to get out without really taking any damage.
Yeah, and we did see that gust come out from Falstad, kind of. They were giving that pressure on, and Falstad kind of just bought Supernova at some time to run away, and you know, nothing really too big came out from that push, even with the Night Camp on their side for Ballistix. They go for the Giants again. And Ballistix going top. I think he wants to finish that fort away before the Shrines come up here.
That is true. You can always just fly down, be a part of the next fight. Crucially enough, this is not Hinterland Blast. Disappointing.
You had that yesterday, right?
I had it yesterday, but they were the worst heroics I've ever seen. Like, my Hinterland Blast looked better than that. And realistically, it was a little bit, they were having a little bit of fun there, but yeah, a little bit of an unfortunate choice there. Okay, SD, all right.
Some assassinations coming in here.
How's this work?
Kirisaku.
Isolated by the way. There we go. And boom goes the dynamite. That's how he's there at Tool. No chat, man. If there was all chat, it would be the reason no chat is named that. Plays like that. Not allowed to say what he maybe wanted to there after that kill.
But you know, whatever works out, and Supernova gets another pick onto Falstead. Kind of pressuring on to Ballistix. Better than game 1 and 2 altogether.
That was so sick. Yeah. That's like when you pick the what's the butcher heroic that nobody picks?
Oh yeah.
You just like chain them to a post. They're just like, well, I mean, your options here are just fairly limited. Kind of a similar idea here, but not quite the same for Jongha, who does stay alive. Oh, no chat was going for it. Not enough. Realistically, that would have been very high damage. Gonna be burrowing away. Kirisaku does actually complete the drag hooligan, but the huge gust really helps him out.
Alright, a good gust here. It was also a good drag, and it was countered by that gust to buy that time, push them away. But in the meantime, Euro goes to that bottom shrine, gets that shrine. Another pressure coming on for Supernova, because if they get picked off here, this is a second Dragon Knight, a 14-minute Dragon Knight.
And realistically, this is a big benefit for Ballistix, because now they're forcing Supernova to come to them. Actually, a great Hanzo, the Dragon Arrow does start this fight off in a big way, but realistically just forces Supernova back, and it gives Ballistix their second Dragon Knight.
A 14-minute Dragon Knight. This is definitely going to hurt a lot more than 9 minutes, obviously. And this might just be a keep going down, if not at least a 2-level difference going for Ballistix on their way here.
I think it's going to be about maybe both of those options. Maybe a third one as well. They can really just pile on every advantage they want right now. Somehow that fort is still alive up top lane, so maybe a good job being done there by Kirisaku. But a whole lot more will be lost here down bottom lane. So here comes Kirisaku with the brush dog. He's down here, but getting gusted away. A beautiful way to stop that flank from being effective at all. And a nice kick there comes out from Jongha inside the Dragon Knight to really free up a lot of pressure. No Jack going deep, looking for anyone.
They need a pick.
Yes, Scroll catching on to Hooligan. I guess he was already CC'd there up in the front. And no more health left on that Dragon Knight or the Keep. Good pick off there. BP does catch 2, but will this give No Chat a good opportunity to get in here? Stay a while, grabs 1 onto Muradin. Hooligan sleepy there for a second, but he's going to be awake, wide awake after that. 1 kill does come through for No Chat, but a few more through for Ballistix. They're going to grab at least 1 more onto Alex. Kirisaku might be the next one to fall, but will survive next to his own Keep. And Jongha versus the core. Who wins?
Yeah, one after another. You know, when it was a Phoenix and a Hanzo trade 1 for 1, it was okay.
Not bad.
It was a not bad play for Supernova defending against a 14-minute Dragon Knight. But when that 3rd kill and now the 4th kill comes up and losing only Hanzo for Ballistix, this is core.
This is absolutely going to be core. We're going to bust it wide open and find out how many hits to the center of a Dragon Pop. I don't know what that is, but Pop goes to Dragon, and that's it for game number 3. A 3-0 in dominant fashion there for Ballistix. They take out Supernova.
All right, well, you know, I did expect a 3-0 or maybe even a 3-1, like I mentioned before, if Supernova does come out with a crazy super play. And you know, No Chat has some crazy super plays hidden up his sleeve, but unfortunately this time around it was a 3-0 loss or victory for Ballistix. a clean game, I guess, for Ballistix side.
Right, I mean, No Chat had his moments, right? The sick pickoff on a false dad top lane, it's like, ha-ha! And then they lose the game. But, you know, you got to type #worth in chat just to let everybody know that it was, in fact, a cool play. He did have 3 kills, so the most on his team. I guess the most damage wasn't quite his, but hey, what are you going to do? Either way, it is still a 3-0 for Ballistix, and I think everybody kind of expected that, but impressive to see it in action.
Yeah, you know, you guys see the numbers here. Even if Supernova did lose 3-0 to Ballistix, every time we saw that Phoenix come out from Bentham, he has his numbers highlighted. So he's doing his best. He's trying his best.
I mean,
and
it's the reason it's such a good pick for the team, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, it just feels as if Supernova have to maneuver or work around the Phoenix, which is one of their main picks that come out every single game. So, you know, not blaming the rest of the team, but still they have the other 4 has to kind of maneuver and work around the Phoenix and support the Phoenix, because Phoenix, as you guys saw in the numbers, is doing his job.
I feel like if your best hero is Phoenix and you die a lot, you should at least get some sort of buff to reviving from your ashes and then coming back even stronger. You're a 2-2, then you're a 6-6, and you're a 10-10. Either way, it doesn't quite work out for him. He did die a lot, and unfortunately, no matter how many planet crackers he had, it never quite worked out. Although he did save their core on 1 health in that Towers of Doom game. So
he did.
Was it worth it? I don't know, but it was still kind of cool to see some non-standard strats come out. Some nice Void Prisons there at the end from No Chat, as well as cool pickoffs. It looked good, but ultimately it wasn't enough to win them any games, and Ballistix takes the 3-0. So Ballistix climb up in the standings. If I'm looking at that, that makes them 4-1.
Yep.
So they're still down there in 3rd place with Tempest and Genji ahead of them. We might see those 3 like switch around a little bit more as they play games as the phase goes on. But Ballistix still up there.
Yeah, and you know, Ballistix still up there, 4-1. They got their 5th game going, but Genji is 4-0 currently. They didn't play their 5th game yet, but we do see the result. But if Genji next week, after the patch, they do go up against Miracle. If Genji wins against Miracle next week, they're going to be 5-0. So that's still going to keep Ballistix down. So if Miracle somehow, you know, has a miracle